Coco and Othello, my loves, marhaba habibati. So, I just got back from Carmen. I told you when I was doing this makeup that was what I was gonna go see. And yeah. So like the whole way home I was trying to figure out how to like phrase this and what I wanted to say, because I watched Carmen as a ballet, like they'd done it as a ballet, and I watched that like 12 years ago, and it still to this day resonates with me. Like it still has such a special place in my heart, and like for it to have resonated so strongly so long ago and still have that kind of impact on me means something, right? Like it's one of those things that's worthy of this kind of like, let's sit and talk about magic and excitement and all that kind of fun stuff. And so when I saw that they were doing the ballet here at the National Opera, I was like, oh, okay, cool, awesome, let's go do that. And I'd seen two performances at the opera here, and one I loved and one I didn't. I was sort of okay about. So I will tell you what I adore about Carmen. And so when you're looking, because I do love the story when it's done right. I think the issue today was that it was in English. The National Opera does all their ballets in English, and it was in English, and so I think I lost something in English, which was problematic. And then B, they tried to do too much with it. They didn't focus enough on bringing those moments. Like, I think it was the actors also like weren't magical together, and then there was too many gimmicks. Like they brought cars onto the stage and they had full on nudity and they were swearing, and it was just like, sometimes, remember how when we talked in American Buffalo, how I talked about it's really hard for two actors alone on a static stage to pull it off, but when that happens it's beautiful. Also sometimes the opposite, when there's too much going on a stage, it's sometimes distracting, A, and then B, to cover up the fact that there's like a level of acting that's missing, and a level of performance that's missing. So it started strong, and there was these really beautiful sort of numbers that they had with the soldiers, and they were singing, and they had the formation, so there was like movement involved, and it was really well done. But in the second half, where there was a lot of heart that needed to be conveyed, I lost them. And so it fell short of being magical. What I loved about the ballet, and so this is I think what I would recommend in looking for a production of Carmen wherever you're at, because they tend to redo the story in different formats, so like at the ballet or in different operas, opera houses or what have you. So what I would look for is a focus on the music, like something that's not gimmicky. So what I loved about the ballet was that this is music, like if you go to YouTube, where we're at now, and you just like search in YouTube, Carmen music, there's so many of the songs are iconic songs that you would know. They're songs that like bring to life like all these really beautiful Spanish dances. So I think what was beautiful about the ballet is because the ballet only relies on music, there are no words, right? It's music and movement. The music came through so strongly, and the fact that they weren't acting, that there weren't props on stage, it was just the ballet dancers and the music, that kind of beautiful combination. See how I'm excited I'm getting? Because it just put a focus and emphasis on the beauty of the music and about being in that moment and experiencing the music and experiencing the emotions raw. So they were able to carry it off. Like I think the ballet is really hard to get into. You really have to have a story that can be conveyed really beautifully, and I think Carmen was one of those stories that was very beautifully conveyed in the ballet. So yeah, I think the problem with, it just, you have to make sure that you're seeing a production that's true to the music, and like focused on that and not gimmicky and just really raw and authentic. As soon as you start messing with the authenticity, because Carmen's all about that kind of very raw, so as soon as you start messing with the authenticity by changing the language or like bringing over too many props, you lose some of what's beautiful about Carmen. And so I'm a little bit bummed, but I wanted to share with you what I love about Carmen and the memory that I will keep forever and treasure forever, which is the one that I had 12 years ago at the ballet. And that's one where the music is at the center of it, and it's beautifully pairing that really raw human interpretation and emotion to music. Like, I think that's what paired it so well. So yeah, I did though while I was here, because I didn't want to harp on the opera. The opera can be a really beautiful, beautiful place. It's also a really intense place. The operas run 2 to 3 hours, and they're intense. Like, it's not musical theater, it's opera. And that is very different because it relies, so I've seen half a dozen operas in my lifetime. And what I will say about the opera is that the ones, like the two that really stick in my mind that I really loved were La Boheme and Othello. But I'm going to talk about Othello because Othello, both of those I've seen twice. And Othello was amazing both times. And so I think this, for me, if you're new to the opera and you're getting into the opera, if you can see Othello, go see Othello. But if you're choosing a show that isn't Othello, I think the key to amazing opera is a story anchored by strong characters that is staged in a way that's authentic and that just lets those characters be. So in both adaptations that I saw, one was in, I want to say one was in Italian in San Francisco, and then the one here was at the National Opera was in English. But both are beautiful. The language didn't affect, like changing to English didn't affect it. What was I going to say? What remains in my mind so strong about both interpretations was Desdemona and Othello. There are these beautiful, strong, amazing characters that play so much of the opera on their own. Like, they're just on the stage singing at each other or singing by themselves. And they're these they engulf the entire, so if you've ever been in an opera house, it's a huge, huge, huge place. With their presence alone, they can engulf the whole place. And you just feel the pain, it takes you on that journey. Do you know sometimes when you listen, like when you're in that right mind space and you can, people are going to crucify me for this example, but you listen to like a really powerful love song and you're going through a bad breakup or you've just started falling in love, and so everything, you're just like, yes, you get me, Taylor Swift, like that kind of moment. The opera makes you feel that, like Othello on stage when he is singing at you, he makes you feel that, but like 1,000 times over and like 1,000 times more intense. Like all you can think about is what it means to be this painfully in love and like how much that just overwhelms you. Do you guys see how like I'm getting really excited and like, this is why I film these videos. Someone in the last one I did, they were like, I love how just no holds barred and like it's all real and it's all raw, and that's what amazing performance does to me. And so I was hoping I'd get this reaction out of Carmen, but I didn't tonight. So I did want to share with you though that Carmen is worth seeing, but Othello is also just, Othello is something else. Yeah, I highly recommend it. In any format you can see it, I highly recommend it. Be ready though to feel like heartbroken, and be ready for like a heavy night. Like it's a long piece of opera, and it's also heavy. So yeah, I've rambled on for almost 9 minutes. I don't know how I've rambled on for that long. This was supposed to be like short because there wasn't much to say, but there we go. This is what happens. So I'm going to leave it at that. But share with me if you guys have seen either, or different interpretations of either, or a great opera that you've seen, or even a great ballet that you've seen. Share all that kind of great stuff with us down below, and let's continue the conversation down there. I'm going to do some points of positivity and then I will be done. My first point of positivity is feeling grateful for the amount of opera and ballet that I've seen. Those are some of the most beautiful, but hardest to come by types of productions, types of cultural events. I remember I went to a talk a while back, I'm going to ramble some more, where this guy was telling us that, so Western Canada is known for its oil and gas, which gets a lot of flack because it's not the cleanest energy. That's a story for a different video. But he was saying that one of the most amazing things that we've been able to do in Western Canada is have a philharmonic orchestra. And that is a sign of development in a place that is like at the top 1% of the world. Like to have a professional ballet, to have a professional a philharmonic orchestra, to have a professional opera, like to have that in the place where you are, like, that's such a, like, you've met so many of the population's basic needs that you can get to some place where you can also meet these kinds of needs. That's amazing. So I feel really grateful that I've gotten to experience that and live in places that have fostered that, and that have had the ability to foster that, because I know it's a huge blessing. So that's definitely my first point of positivity. My second is this, is like, it's so fun and so, I love my makeup videos. I do, don't get me wrong, but it's fun to like have this, like, I haven't gotten this like giddy excited about sitting down and filming since I like started, like, you know, it's been a while now, right? So that like new relationship, like everything is giddy. I haven't felt that way with my other videos for a little while. So it's fun to have this new outlet and feel like things are new and exciting, and it's fun, and it's, you know, it's different and it's raw, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's my second point of positivity. And my third point of positivity is I am actually really excited to just wash my face and mask and like get warm and cozy in bed tonight and just be warm and hang out with my buddy Stitch. See, he's my buddy. We sit and we watch YouTube videos together at night. It's fun. But yeah, that's it for me today. I want to send you guys ever so much love. Radiate some of that positivity and Othello, Desdemona excitement your way. And Carmen. We can't forget about Carmen. And thank you guys for being here, and wishing you awesome nights and days and moments and all that kind of good stuff. But that is it for me today. And I'm going to leave you, but not without first reminding you that life is just too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.